Hi, hello everyone.
Hello. Hey.
We are excited to be here today. We have a very special guest because we're bringing her back today on episode 15 of the Hawaii United Okinawa Association's Yuntaku Live series. Just want to say mahalo again to everyone for joining us. Janine is consistently the first one to comment, constantly in the house every time. I love it. So thank you, Janine, and all of our fans out there. For many of you who are joining us for the first time tonight, we appreciate your patience, and we are excited to bring Allison Arakawa on today. And we've got a lot of things figured out since the last time we brought her on. So super excited. Again, make sure you share this with your friends. Our YouTube page, if you search HUOA on YouTube, you'll find us real easy. Click the subscribe button. And on Facebook, same thing, HUOA or Hawaii United Okinawa Association. We also have an Okinawan Festival Facebook page that we created a long time ago because it's such a big event that it had to be managed on its own. So I want to thank Sherry Tamashiro for helping us do that for many years now. I want to say almost.
Thank you, Sherry.
Guessing almost 10 years, if that's possible.
At least.
Yeah, of helping manage our Facebook page for Okinawan Festival. So thank you for that. We wanted to bring up, I'll just go right into Sherry right now because it's such a great segue. But she, besides helping us with our Okinawan Festival.com, our Okinawan Festival Facebook page, and she's been doing that for a long time, she also helps with many of the local businesses. And today on KITV, you can see her and Chokatsu here on the Aging Well segment on KITV with Diane Ako, I believe. And yeah, so Sherry's been doing a lot to help our local businesses, our local Okinawan businesses. She saw a huge need in the community because, as COVID was happening, a lot of people, weren't ready to really digitize into this age where we can't, do things the normal way that we do them. And so she went out, and especially for Sunrise and Chokatsu, because it's such a near and dear restaurant for many of us, it's one of the few places, still in Hawaii where you can get the real Okinawan experience. So she's been helping them with technology and making sure that, they're up to date. We also have our Shinka Club that went around and, helped them, ask Sherry for some help, which restaurants she can point them to. And our Shinka members have also been going on making sure that, teaching them some skills on how to update things on Google and Yelp and things like that are so vital to making sure that in the COVID era, it's basically how restaurants are staying alive right now. So
absolutely. And, you can actually still catch it. It went on in the 5 p.m., 6 p.m. news, but they're also going to feature it again on the 10 o'clock show tonight on KITV. And it's called Aging Well segment again. So you'll be able to catch the Sunrise and Sherry Tamashiro. Big thank you to Sherry for helping us going.
It's not just Sunrise, right? Restaurant. Of course, there's other local restaurants like Hide-chan, Utage, Hambol, and other places. But she also helps find these smaller, like Kogachi Orchids and these smaller mom and pop stores that really could use our support during this tough time. So thank you again.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right. So just some reminder, our numbers are kind of going up in Hawaii. So we want to remind everyone to please stay safe, take care, and wear your masks. We got lots of beautiful Uchinanchu masks here. We won't be wearing them on the show because it makes it really hard to hear. But please do let's take time to really make sure that we're following our rules, keeping social distancing, and take a kind of step back to make sure that we're all gonna do our best to keep this virus under control. So, So, let's see. So, who do we have today? We have lots of people that we're gonna bring on today, huh?
We do. Again, Allison came on. Allison Arakawa came on 2 weeks ago, and before that, I know actually we have another guest, right? a special guest that's going to come online. He's usually behind the scenes,
We have
right?
Yeah.
So
All right.
his name is Johnny Fumura. Yeah.
Real quick.
And let's bring him on.
Haisai Gusuyo, everybody.
Hey.
Haisai Gusuyo, Wanne Itumura Yaibin, Utasku Negai Sabira.
Hey.
I am the executive director here at the Okinawan Center, Hawaii United Okinawa Association. A dream job, but what a year. Just like poor Lynn being kaicho this year of pandemic, hurricane. So we are still closed at the Okinawan Center until September 1st. We just felt that it's safer that way. The cases in Hawaii keep going up and down, but we're trying our best. We just had that great Andagi pre-sale, and we're going to go right into virtual Okinawa Festival that the DJ and Lynn will talk about later. But today, the main thing is continuing Yuntaku Live. And, don't forget, Yuntaku Live is brought to you by all these wonderful people, all these wonderful volunteers. But we do ask all of you out there for your donations. This is a tough year for us, and it's going to be even tougher next year. So, gambate for us and for all of you out there. Chibario.
Hey. Thank you
But
so
today,
much.
I want to reintroduce someone. I say reintroduce because my personal experience is seeing her, hearing her sing, and then she disappeared. So let's bring her back. And her name is Allison Arakawa.
Hey, Allison.
Allison, hi, Sai.
Hello.
Arakawa, right? So everybody says, Arakawa, are you related to? Right? And it's who? Arakawa store, any of those Arakawas. So we have one of those. I'm going to ask DJ to bring David Arakawa on.
Let's see if he's
Where is
around.
he?
David Arakawa.
Hey.
All right.
His
Hi,
quick-
Sai Allison and everybody. It's Uncle Dave.
shirt.
Uncle Dave.
It's Uncle Dave, and we know you're going to have a great show tonight. And we figured out how come. Last time I wasn't wearing my lucky red palaka shirt. This time we are. So you're going to have a great show. This is about introducing you to the audience, right? The Yuntaku audience. So could you tell the audience a little bit about your background, where you grew up, that kind of thing, what schools you went to?
So I grew up in Honolulu. I went to Kaimiki High School. I grew up in Palolo Valley, Ali'iolani, Jarrett, and then I moved on to UH at Manoa. So my whole life in Palolo Valley.
All right.
Yeah.
And your Issei grandparents, where did they come from?
So I'm half Okinawan on my father's side and then Chinese on my mother's side. And those are my Digimabang. I'm the little one on the I guess right side in the blue shirt. That's me. And then my sister's in the yellow shirt.
So cute.
So my great grandparents on the Okinawan side immigrated from Nishihara, Onaha, and came to Maui first. And then from there, the family some came to Oahu and then some went to California. So that's on my dad's side. And then my Chinese side, my great grandfather, which I never met, was a tailor, and they came from China to Hawaii for that.
Wow. And so you're fourth generation then?
I'm fourth generation on both sides, yes.
Wow. Okay. And, you talked about Nishihara, and your last name is Arakawa. So tell the audience, are you related to the Arakawa family?
Okay, so there's a lot of
Arakawa
Arakawas in
family,
my
Arakawa
family.
family.
My grandmother was an Arakawa, and she married into an Arakawa family. So we are related to the store on my grandmother's side. So I'm not exactly sure how the family tree branches turned out, but I do know that I think that my grandmother was probably a niece or something of Zenpang Arakawa. So she would always visit him New Year's, the family, and then make a lot of trips to Waipahu. So we know that much, but she's unfortunately gone, so we can't ask her. But we're kind of trying to do the, you know, the backtracking to see exactly who's related and how. So, but
And
that's as much
in
as
fact,
I know in my generation.
and in fact, Arakawa Jichan, the founder of the store, had something to do with your parents' wedding, right?
Oh yeah. So the story is that when my parents got married, Zenpang Oji-san did the bonsai. So I think they were pretty close. And you know, as the elder in the family, he was respected. So he luckily said yes and did the bonsai for my parents to celebrate their wedding.
Okay, well, you know, we always knew that you were related, and the reason why I knew that we were always related is your father. Your father is always wearing a palaka shirt, right?
Yeah,
Gotta
he
be.
Okay.
likes the
Okay.
palaka shirt. He likes the
Yeah.
palaka shirt.
Okay. And finally, you have a bunch of fans in the Nishihara Club. And these are some of your fans from the Nishihara Club. Lynn, of course, is Nishihara Club too. So
Yay!
photo of a couple at least of your big fans from Nishihara Club. Okay. So a big shout out to your fans from Nishihara Club and the Arakawa family, both in Hawaii and in Okinawa. Good luck with the show. And we'll turn it back
you.
over to Lynn, John, Allison, and DJ. Thank you very much.
Right.
Bye,
Hey,
Uncle
thank you
Dave.
very much,
Dave.
Dave.
Thank
Good
you,
to see
Dave.
you.
Chibario. Chibario.
Everybody,
Can I just say that I feel like all of our great grandparents had the same glasses? Everyone had the same frames.
Yeah,
It makes me chuckle every time I see, because I'll see other people's family photos. I'm like, oh, everyone had the same glasses.
Chuckle will probably come back in 10 years.
Oh yeah. That's great.
But you know, that was interesting going back and hearing her history and the family. But what is her singing history, Allison? Can you tell us about your singing history?
So I started singing when I was 4. It's kind of a silly story, but in my 4-year-old mind, I thought I can sing better than my classmates, right? So I told my mom, I want to sing because I think I can sing. And so my grandmother, my father's mother, the Okinawan side, ends up taking me to Urata Sensei. So Urata Sensei, he teaches Japanese music, but I didn't know that until we got there. And, you know, you're 4 years old, you don't really have a choice, and it's fun, it's music. But, you know, I didn't understand Japanese. I couldn't even read. So my mother would have to read the words for me so I could memorize them. And in the beginning, it was my sister and I, and as a favor to my grandmother, Urata Sensei took us together to do lessons, like 30 minutes. And we'd spend the whole 30 minutes fighting or playing. So it wasn't very productive. Eventually they split us up, but that's how we started. And then when we first started to sing, we always sang together. So that's a picture of us. I'm in the red, and it's hard to see, but I'm in the red, and I'm sorry. I'm
this
in
side, yeah?
Yeah, and that one.
Yeah.
You folks look like twins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're a year apart. So we always
Oh.
got mistaken for twins. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm in the red.
Cute.
And there's my sister, and yeah. So that's how we started. And I just continued to sing with Urata Sensei, you know, up until the point where he was like, we didn't even sing. I would just sit down and we would talk story the whole 30 minutes, and then we'd go eat lunch, you know. But that's the kind of relationship I had with Sensei. And, you know, he was really amazing. Just, he loved music so much. And he would always say, you know, because he's so always positive and just full of life, you know, and people would ask him, he said, it's the singing that keeps him young. So it's good to sing.
And there was a very special song that he encouraged you to sing.
Yeah, so Sensei taught all of us, all of the students, mostly the younger ones too, because picture brides and the women that worked in the fields were generally young, you know, like when they became picture brides, they were like 17 or younger when they came over. So we'd all learn Holehole Bushi, and that's a song that he really that was his life's work. So what he did was he went to all the islands like in 1965 or something, and he recorded the Issei and he recorded their songs, and that's something that he really treasured. He listened to their stories, and he basically found that the music was a little bit different in all the different islands, and the immigrants came from different places in Japan, so there were all these variances, and of course it was made up, but it was songs that they might have brought with them and just modified. So he standardized Holehole Bushi, and he copyrighted it, and I eventually recorded it. So I think he copyrighted it in 1981, and then we ended up recording it in 1997. So that was really interesting. That was an experience. Ota-san played on that Holehole Bushi album. So we went into the recording studio, and I had Ota-san and a few other really well-known musicians at Pierre's studio in Manoa, and we recorded it in one take. And I was like, it's over? Like usually when you record, it's it's a couple times and you redo it. But we did it in one take, and that was that. And I was like, wow, it's amazing. Just really, really amazing musicians. So I was just glad I didn't screw up. So
Yeah, I'd be nervous.
Just wanted to,
it was great though. It was an experience. Yeah.
Well, he had a keen interest in the plantation songs and wanting that to carry on through the generations, it seems.
Yeah. So when he was in the internment camps, there was someone there who kind of suggested that he do this, and that that the song needs to be preserved. So it became his project, and that's what he did. From the 80s, from the 60s, and then through the 80s, and then it kind of rests in his students' hands now. But that was his life's work, and he really firmly believed it, and he recorded it. We're so fortunate that it is still available. It's in the Smithsonian, and so all of his reels that was taken used to be piled up in his studio, just sitting on the counter. And Dr. Franklin Odo, who we'll talk about a little bit later, he got all that stuff and said, "This is important stuff, Sensei." So he got it, and he got it into the Smithsonian. So now it's preserved and there for the future.
That's amazing. I love to hear that story. I know that sometimes it's a uniquely Hawaii Okinawa immigration story, right? This is a nice melting of both cultures, and it's such a like I said, for that time period, is very an important time period in Hawaii's history. And I know that for many of us who are descendants of these people, it's kind of our origin story. So
it is, yeah. And that's Dr. Franklin Odo's book. And in it, he talks about just the beginnings, and he researched, and he talks a lot about Urata Sensei and his journey. And, just the fact that, the Japanese immigrants that came, they're really the only group of immigrants that came to Hawaii that have perpetuated and have nurtured these songs. And so, we're very grateful that we have, professors and like people like Barbara Kawakami, who's an authority on this Holehole Bushi outfit and immigrant wear, to be able to just capture all this stuff and make sure that we have it for the next generation. I'm already fourth generation, so it's for my children and other children and their generation. It's so far behind that they cannot even, at least I remember my great grandparents who were Issei, but they have no idea who any of these people are. So it's good that we're able to, at least show them pictures, tell them stories, and, at least hear the songs that they sang.
Well, not only pictures, they get to see their mom dressed in the plantation outfit and sing. Can you tell us a little bit about the outfit?
Okay, so this outfit is very special. It was made by Barbara Kawakami, who's an authority on immigrant wear. She has 2 books out, and she actually made this costume for me when I was about 14 years old. She was working on her first book at that time, and she took the time out to measure me, and she made this costume, which I've been wearing for a really long time. But it's actual fabric that a picture bride brought from Hiroshima. So
Wow.
it came in folds of fabric, and it was donated to her, and she used this fabric. So it's over 100 years old. And I've carried it with me. Yeah. So whenever I go anywhere, sing with this, it's in hand carry. Like, this is priceless. So I got to make sure that it doesn't get lost in luggage or damaged. But yeah, it's gone everywhere with me, in Japan and the other islands and California. So
Wow.
thank you, Barbara.
Amazing.
So you say you brought this with you or take this with you everywhere, especially when you sing the song.
Mhm.
Why is that important?
You know, I've only sung Holehole Bushi aside from practicing in this outfit because it really is the spirit of the song. You know, it's from an issei, and this is, you know, it's just a respectful thing to do. I think that, you know, to honor our issei for all the hard work, and it just tells a story on its own. So
I think it's a little bit like the shishimai. You know, by wearing the shishi, you bring life to it. And so you're bringing life and continuing the spirit of that time by wearing it and singing the song of the plantation field. So let's give everyone a chance to hear you sing this song,
Okay.
and we'll break away for a little while and let you get ready.
Okay.
Wow, that
So
is
I'm excited to hear this.
We got virtual festival coming up, right?
Yeah. So we're getting ready.
Oh.
You know, these if you notice, we're getting a little bit more fancy. Sometimes we have a lot more multiple things going on. I just want to thank DJ.
Yes, DJ.
DJ. DJ
You
is
guys
kind of
don't know how hard he works behind the scenes.
I have some photos from last night. We did a training session. I'm usually just the person here. I don't do anything except for sit here and talk. But behind the camera, I think I'll definitely want to show all these photos of DJ trying to teach a team of us what's going on in the background so that we can keep it going, you know, just in case. So
Actually, you know, I'm actually really excited. So for the virtual festival, we have a lot of people, you know, involved, and we're texting, we're doing Zoom sessions, you know, for the past 4 or 5 months in preparation for this. And this Yuntaku has been the platform that we've been using to really prepare for the festival, right? So
yeah.
we've been adding on, just today is crazy. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 monitors. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 cameras going on. A lot of wires, but it's great because yesterday we had a training session, and we have actually a couple of members from Shinka, Ike Nagamine and Bree. I'm spacing out Bree. Bree Yamada, and also joining in from Shinka. You know, they're helping with technology for Sunrise and all the small businesses, but they're also helping us with the virtual festival. So we also had Lynn and John here yesterday. So we were here till almost midnight. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, all of it is to make this experience, this virtual experience, very exciting. You know,
Yeah.
it's one thing to go to Kapilani Park, to go to the convention center and be there live, but this live virtual performance is a challenge. But I think everyone's going to enjoy it.
So the lineup is coming soon. We did finally get some stuff up on the OkinawanFestival.com site. We'll be adding to it as we get things, and we will be updating the community as we get things finalized. So we want to ask everyone for your support and understanding as we kind of piece this together. It's super exciting. I think we're getting a lot of interest from people our Gano, which is performing arts groups, are all excited. It's been a tough year for a lot of clubs, and so we're all just trying to figure out, how we can all contribute. So stay tuned. We will bring more to you, but the dates will be September 4th through the 7th. That's going to be, we have an immigration symposium planned for September 4th. We're planning 2 days, 2 afternoons, kind of more towards 2 p.m. in the afternoon, of live shows on Saturday, the September 5th, and Sunday, September 6th. And then we're hoping to do another big andagi/food sale in our parking lot again on September 7th. So kind of a mixture of virtual drive-through, but everything needs to be, COVID safe. So we're excited to bring you more details, and we will as soon as we can. So stay tuned.
Exciting.
Yes.
All right, I think Allison's ready.
All right. Wow. I think
Very
knowing
beautiful.
the profoundness of the outfit and everything that she's wearing makes it even more, like Janine says, chicken skin moment right now. And I think knowing that the outfit she's wearing is about 100 years old is really amazing when you think about it. So thank you so much. That is a very I've heard that song before. I've heard Allison sing it even in other venues, but for this time, I don't know, it's just a little bit more chicken skin, yeah.
When you see her in her outfit singing it, that's what gives you chicken skin.
So I didn't realize, and I kind of want to ask her this. So is that the same outfit she was wearing when she was like 14 years old? She
That
fits the outfit
is.
that
That is. We'll ask her though. Sorry about the sound. We got so many mics here. When we took away her voice mic, that
Yeah,
was the mic that was feeding back.
it's just a
So
little bit, but
we got
very
it.
good,
We got
very
it.
good. Thank you. That was very beautiful. That was incredible. Whew. So
I just want to share going back to Keone. And Keone, thank you very much for always coming to join us and watch our show. Real quick, Urata Sensei taught me Holehole Bushi as well.
yeah. So I think he is famous, right? I mean, as we're explaining, I have to admit that I didn't know Urata Sensei before I had met Allison, so I didn't know who he was. But through it's like shows like this that we realize, and he's very clearly he's taught it in many different places around, and I think that this is a great like chance for us to bring out a lot of these things that we didn't know from like somebody like me who's in their 30s almost 40s, but we didn't get a chance. I've heard it before, maybe I've even heard Urata Sensei's name, but I've never understood the significance of what what he did in bringing together all the different types of plantation music and kind of synthesizing it into one that we can share for generations to come. So I think what you feel in that song is a little bit of the sadness, right, and the heartache. And I just want to thank Allison, I know, for sharing that and keeping that song. Wow, sorry, I'm just reading Keone's comment that he came from Los Angeles to learn directly from Urata Sensei. So, wow. That's incredible.
Oh, thanks for sharing, Keone.
Yeah.
Well, Allison, what can you tell us specifically about the song? I mean, it has a meaning to you.
Yeah.
So the Holehole Bushi, Holehole is the Hawaiian word for the work that would entail stripping the dead leaves from the stalks. And it was, Bushi is a Japanese word for song. So it's the song that the Issei sang and it was born in the sugarcane fields. It was their songs of work, of hardship, of life. And so, songs help you get through things. It helps you get through the day, when things are really hard work. And, mostly for the Holehole work, it was the women who did it because it was the lesser of the more arduous tasks. So the women were doing this, and not to say that it was easy at all. There were 12-hour days in the hot sun with all the sugarcane piercing you from every angle. And that's why they had the tesashi and the kyahang to cover themselves. And imagine having a baby on your back, So it was, just stuff that we don't ever have to even think about. I mean, if we don't have AC, we're freaking out, right, in this hot weather. But they did this day after day, for pennies. And so it's significant. It's, as a Yonsei, I'm still very grateful because I remember my great grandparents, very grateful for their sacrifices.
Shucks, I should have left the air conditioning off while you were singing that song.
I can have beads of
No, she
sweat.
cannot sweat in that outfit. Okay. Yeah.
I want to recreate. The verses of the song. I think you told me that you had a favorite verse. You recall?
Yeah, the third verse is my favorite. Ame wa furidasu yo, sentaku ga nureru. So it's just so like vivid. The explanation is it starts to rain. The rice is burnt. The child is crying on its mother's back. I mean, that's just. I mean, what mom doesn't know about things like going crazy, having to do this, that, and the other, and that was life for them. Some things don't change, but we're not in the cane fields 12 hours. But you can understand that from just a human perspective. That it was hard. Life was really hard. It was long days. And we're just grateful that they made a better life for us. So
yeah, I think Magic Abalone hits the nail right on the head.
Mahalo to our ancestors.
Yeah, I like that.
for sacrifices they
Mr.
made.
Magic Abalone. And I believe they are from Los Angeles.
I think so.
They mentioned earlier. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much for joining us. And Allison, real quick, I just want to share you some comments. Right, I was watching another live show called Nanai no Rote from Okinawa. Anyways, they really appreciate. They're used to performing live, but now with this online, you don't see the crowd while you're performing. So we really appreciate the comments that we get. So Karen Takara said, "Very chicken skin moment," and lots of hand or claps. So I just wanted to share that with you, Allison.
Thank you.
And one more thing, I know we were talking about Barbara Kawakami earlier, and I just wanted to share some of those pictures from I believe it was earlier in January, right, for the United Japanese Society.
Honored.
Barbara Kawakami was honored. Yeah, and just
She's still kicking. She's 94.
Yeah.
A little bit
She was
higher, but
A little higher. I'm making her younger.
I'm not supposed to tell her age, but yeah, she's incredible woman. Thank you, Barbara, for making my costume. Thank you for being you. Thank you for telling stories. She's working on her third book, so
Wow.
we're excited to see that. This is her first book, and then her second one is the Picture Bride stories. So, yeah, just amazing.
So you were in the movie Picture Bride, weren't you?
Wow.
Okay, for like 2 seconds or something. I got roped into it. So Kayohata met with Urata Sensei, and actually, when she did her pitch video before the movie was sold, she had to pitch it, and so she recorded me for the pitch video, and so that's when I met her. And she's like, "You're about the age. Why don't you be a bride?" And I'm like, really? I don't know. So anyway, I got roped into it, and it was an interesting experience. I give actors credits. It's very long, a lot of waiting, and but yeah, I don't even. It's been a long time, but yeah, I was in it for like 2 minutes.
Well, speaking of a long time, and not that long time ago, tying it back to Holehole Bushi, you won Nodojiman. And Nodojiman, for those of you out there that don't know, it's a very, very popular Japanese TV show. It's a weekly show. And the theme of that show is to go around Japan to the various prefectures or maybe even towns and villages and collect the talent from that area. And it's a singing contest. So they came to Hawaii, and as you can imagine, all the singers went out. Allison has an interesting story about, instead of going out in sequins, she went out in her plantation outfit.
This very same outfit.
And you were only 14 years old?
No, that was in 2000.
Oh, okay.
So I was little older than.
Just a little older than. But you started seeing this. And you won.
Wow.
So hats off to you.
Thank you.
All right.
That was I honestly, the story behind that is I didn't want to do it. I didn't. Urata Sensei was like, you need to enter this. I'm like, no. I'm retired from contests already. I mean, I've been doing contests since I was a little kid, and Keizu Koho, all of it. So I was just like, I'm done. I don't want to do anymore. And he was like, you have to do this. And I was like, no, Sensei, I don't want to do it, but you can't say no to Sensei.
Yes, you cannot say.
It's against the rules. So I did. And yeah.
And we're glad you did.
Yeah.
Because you got to represent Hawaii and go all the way to Japan and sing in the main show, right?
So after I gave up on the fact that, okay, I'm going to have to do this, then I thought, well, I'm going to be wearing this costume. It's a folk song. It's not really fancy, but at least the song will be heard. So it doesn't matter if I win. It's exposure, and people that have never heard it will hear it, and that was my goal. So I'm fortunate I did win, because then it got even more exposure. But
I think
that was in 2000.
that was in 2000 and 2001. The NHK in Tokyo is the one
Wow.
I attended. And I think they bring all the winners together and you do like a contest. So
Right. So you went from the Stan Sheriff Arena to all the way to
NHK Hall,
Tokyo.
yeah.
Wow.
So that was a trip to Tokyo, but
Mhm.
a lot of people don't realize you spent a lot of time in Okinawa as well.
Yes.
So how about talking about your experience in Okinawa?
So I was fortunate to be a Kempi Ryugakusei for the Ryudai, so the Ryukyu Daigaku scholarship, and that was in '94. So I went, and at that point I was just culturally I was just doing singing and Okinawan karate. So Ryudai was a better fit, so I ended up doing that.
Mhm.
And then while I was there, I got to learn a lot of things outside of school. So during school, you just study Japanese and whatnot, language, and you have a tutor and you make friends. But outside of that, I learned koten ongaku from Terukina Choichi sensei, and then I was able to learn Okinawa minyo from through Fukuhara sensei. Tsuneo Fukuhara sensei and Chieko Iha, which is pictured there. She's the youngest of the four sisters.
Right.
And then I did a little bit of karate under Eiichi Miyazato sensei, but there's Terukina sensei.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And some people you'll recognize.
Hey, I see Kenten.
June, Ali, Kenton.
Yes.
Some familiar faces a long time ago. Yeah, so we were fortunate. We did a lot of concerts, and I never played sangshin before I went to Okinawa, but I went with Jun Uenten Nakama,
Mhm.
and so she was playing, and Sanda Sensei was like, "You got to go learn from Terukina Sensei." So I'm like, "Okay." So I just went along, and I got to learn some ongaku, koten ongaku. So that was really good. And then I also wanted to learn minyo as well. And so my grandmother, shortly after I flew up there, she came and she went to ask Fukuhara Sensei, if he would teach me, which I had no idea what was going on at that point. I couldn't speak Japanese or anything, but so that was a really interesting experience too, because I didn't know I was auditioning or anything. We went over and we, met him, and she said, please teach my granddaughter this. This is Clara Arakawa's niece, and please. And so he made me sing, and I was like, bashofu. So Fukada Sensei, just so if people don't know, he is the composer of the famous song Bashofu. So I went over there, I sang, and I was like, what is going on? It's like nerve-wracking. I didn't know what to expect. And he was quiet for a little while, and then he said, okay. And so he agreed to take me in. And then he had Chieko Sensei, Chieko Iha, who's a professional singer with her sisters and the four sisters.
Mhm.
So she was my teacher, actually. And Sensei would just listen from the other room.
Well,
Amazing story.
it's interesting for us to find out that you have that relationships with people that many of us in the community know so well, like
The
Terukina
Iha
Sensei and the Iha sisters, the four sisters. I got a chance to talk to Sachiko today, so I didn't want to tell you, but they are watching on YouTube.
Oh.
And so you can wave to them. I'm sure, if not all or some of them are watching. The Fukuhara Sensei, you mentioned, he wrote Bashofu for your auntie,
Mhm.
but you're gonna want to sing a special song another song that he wrote.
Yes. So I was fortunate to learn, Fukuhara melody is what we call it, and it's a lot of the songs that Sensei wrote. So one of them is called Yachi, and it's Yachi means older brother, or like Onisan in Japanese, and this song is just nostalgic. It's just remembering things that someone did with their older brother, like playing rock games or the wooden horse, or just sitting around talking about life. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to sing for you next.
All right, we'll let you get ready for that.
Thank you.
It's amazing that you're right. She has she's had some amazing teachers in her life, and it's so and it's kind of like unme, nanka. It's just destiny. She's not even seeking them out, it kind of just falls.
Well,
Right
I
time.
think it's funny because people are like, okay, wait, who is Allison Arakawa? And it's like, well, she's been with Teregina Sensei. She's been with the Four Sisters. She's karate. Just like,
Yeah, no.
in here, you think
Hello,
she's
so-
all cheerful, but she'll just, knock you out. and Allison's the same way. During pandemic, she's like, I need to hit something. I need to practice karate. So the two of you are the same karate spirit. She goes over to Jikoen and studies under Sensei Lee. So she didn't get a chance to talk much about her karate, but DJs bring up some photos.
Sorry, my
And
face
that's-
is gonna get close to the screen so I can.
Oh, I believe
And that's Arakawa Sensei that the arrow is pointing to up
Yeah,
in the left.
another famous Arakawa.
And then more recent photo with Sensei Allen and the troops over at Chikoen.
This is great.
But the yachi, I did a little bit of research on yachi, and as Allison mentioned, it's a term that's like senpai. It's a respectful term for your older brother or for other people, younger people calling you. And if like you have a male friend, instead of just senpai, you may say yachi. And so Fukuhara Sensei remembered that when he was young and his brother was, someone very special to him, and they would play, as Allison mentioned, he also thought it was important that people are not singing children's songs anymore, and the children are not singing it. So he wanted to write songs that adults would sing for children, but these are children's songs. So Yachi is one of those songs, and he wants it sung for the next generation who now don't sing children's songs because they're all tied to the TV, and internet. So really, Allison is carrying on Fukuhara Sensei's mission by singing this song tonight.
So yachi. Yeah.
Yachi.
Amazing. Okay.
All right, let's bring Allison back on.
眺みたし入りの日の赤いやちたい売りがたらなや見頃としちちをはいまにたといたろう人のこと人のこと生どみしよろやちたい売りがたらなや
Wow, that was amazing. That was beautiful. I didn't want her to stop. Wow. Ooh. Like Linda says, her voice is mesmerizing. Yeah. So
Yes, yeah.
very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, for commenting. Her voice is mesmerizing. We also have from Hanae,
Yeah.
Higa, beautiful voice.
So yeah, her voice just brings you back to a time. I immediately was kind of transported back in time, and I think people who will watch this over and over, you know, it'll be on YouTube, and I know for me, I'm gonna go back and play it. It's just her voice is beautiful, and I think it is something that we're lucky to have in our age because it brings you back, yeah, in time for a little bit. So beautiful singing as always, yes.
This is from Jun Uye Unten Nakama. Yeah,
Who was
thank you,
also in
Jun.
that picture with her. Yeah.
I'm going to bring John back on.
1994 when you guys were all there. What a great time to be in Okinawa, you guys all there.
yeah
Yeah.
So let's bring Allison
The
back
all-star
on.
cast.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah it was life-changing. It was so much fun and we learned a lot and we're just grateful. I'm grateful that I had that chance to do that, you know, that the government gives scholarships like that for, you know, dislocated Yonsei to come and learn. I didn't understand it until I went there. You know, you truly understand.
Yeah.
The connection.
So I'm really hoping that, you know, once this COVID era kind of passes over us, we're going to be able to send. We have so many people who are wanting to go, you know, because it is life-changing. It is different when you're there in Okinawa. And we're hoping to send, you know, our next generation to go live in Okinawa for a little bit, experience it for yourself, experience the ups and downs, the humidity, the, you know, the not knowing what's going on. Yeah.
the 35 typhoons a year.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah. We get, you know, scared about a close call, and they're like, every weekend we get a typhoon during typhoon season. So
Well, that's why everything's made out of concrete there. So
yeah.
But you went up already knowing and singing enka.
Yeah.
And you got to learn more about singing minyo. What's the difference between the two that you found?
Well, when I started singing minyo, I had to kind of reset my whole mindset on how to sing because I've been singing enka from the beginning, like children's songs to enka, and it's a lot more vibrato. And Okinawan music, even in the koten ongaku, also, it's a lot more straight notes. So I had like bad habits I had to like undo. So it's really interesting. I also did a little bit of like canto operatic for a little while just to try it out. And
Ooh.
I learned under Claire Hamamoto, and she's also part Okinawan, so she could appreciate it. But she is told, you have interesting habits. I go, yeah, because I'm a native English speaker, but I was learning Japanese music since I was 4, and then I went and learned Okinawan music, and so it was interesting. You don't realize it until you go there and you try to do something different that's like very foreign, But
So again, that special relationship, you go all the way to Okinawa, then you hook up with Fukuhara Sensei, and you find out he wrote a song for your auntie.
Right. Yeah. So, right. So my auntie Clara was also a singer. When she was about 20 years old, she took a civil service government job in Okinawa, and she wanted to, sing Okinawa music. So my grandmother's younger sister, Auntie Chieko, was the midwife for Fukuhara Sensei's wife. And so she introduced my Auntie Clara to Fukuhara Sensei. And so she had a few recorded songs, and he heard her voice, and he just said, that's the voice. And he was inspired to write Bashofu. So she was the original singer for Bashofu and the inspiration for it. So that's why, it's the, like Uncle Dave said, it's a family song. We all hold it very close to our hearts because my auntie, she's passed on, but her voice is still like total chicken skin when you hear her.
We
So,
actually have a clip of that we want people to listen to. Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Just hearing that and knowing that you're going to sing that song next. I mean, does that, what comes to your mind when you hear her singing and the meaning of the song?
It's just really nostalgic. I mean, for our family, it's definitely special. Everybody hears Auntie Clara's voice and, they want to cry because we all miss her so much. But, it's really a song about my home, Okinawa. So I think Fukuhara Sensei, when he saw a sensei girl from Hawaii, he was inspired because this is a song about, my beloved Okinawa. And it talks about the basho plant, which is like a banana tree, and the trunk of it has fibers that you can weave, and that they would make bashofu. And so that was the really cool fabric that you could wear during the summer. And it was also used as like tributaries to the nobility. So it was a precious, and it's very, synonymous when you think of Okinawa bashofu. So
DJ Lynn, we have to have her sing Pachofu,
I know.
right?
I'm getting excited. Okay, I'm getting excited. Okay.
Okay. But I guess it's unanimous. You have to sing Pachofu as your finale tonight.
okay.
Yep.
All right. We'll give her a little time to get set.
Just look at, you played that small clip, and there's something about that song, right? And everyone's just like, wow. Linda saying just hearing it a little bit made her tear up. So yeah, this is a treat. And I remember, as a child going to all these different Okinawan events, this is probably the late 80s, early 90s, right? And so this song played at all Okinawan events, but yeah.
And I remember my mom playing it all the time when I was a child.
Yeah.
Very nostalgic.
Somebody wants to know where your Karyushi shirt came from.
It's very interesting. So this is from Ross Wakuni.
Yeah.
So this is actually a Ren Spooner. It's not a
Nah.
Karyushi wear. But so Ren Spooner, I was just happened to be walking by the store and I noticed, hey, this looks like Kasuri print.
Yeah.
And so I looked at it, and then there was another shirt that looked like an Okinawan print. So I asked the person at the store, I said, hey, is this Okinawan? He says, yeah, Ren Spooner actually has like 2 or 3, actually maybe 4 Okinawan style aloha shirts. And so I ended up getting 2.
Sorry, this one is not.
I was very excited about it.
Yeah. But
So, and
okay.
I think Allison is ready. Yeah.
She's ready, but I was gonna say one thing about David's shirt. A DJ shirt, great looking shirt. But when I saw that in the store, I said, "Hey, they only have one part of the minza. They're missing the other side."
Yeah, they don't have 4 or 5.
4. They
They
don't
have
have
4, 4, 4.
buy it. I didn't buy it just because of that. Anyway.
Oh, I had no clue.
Hey,
This finale is going to be wonderful. We heard Auntie Clara sing, and now we get to hear Allison Arakawa's version of Bashofu.
Right.
Wow. That was amazing. Oh, I think like many people who are commenting right now, for many people, this was their favorite song. Many like how many of us is it's our mother's favorite song. I'm sure there's tons of us out there where it was your mother's favorite song, right? DJ, you remember your mom
My
playing
mother
it?
as well too.
I
Yeah,
remember mom and dad
absolutely.
playing this song. What a beautiful song. I couldn't help but hum along. And then I got scared that maybe you could hear me. So then I had to like be quiet. But
Yeah, she sang it so beautifully. I mean, I think it just brought up so much memories and nostalgia. Yeah.
yeah, like
Colin
Sherlock
said
Holmes.
another chicken skin moment.
Yeah.
Linda says, my mom too. I miss her so much.
And then
Cheryl said, this was my mom's favorite song. I think rest in peace, Mom. Thank you for
Mhm.
sharing this song.
yes, so many beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Oh,
Look at some of
such
this.
an iconic song, kind of an era. And I think any of us who hear it immediately kind of feel that like, and she sings it so beautifully too. So
Very beautifully.
let's
And
see.
we mentioned she mentioned a lot about Fukuhara Sensei, and I didn't have an opportunity to show some of the pictures. But here's
yeah.
a picture of Fukuhara Sensei with Allison. Yeah.
Oh wow. Classic. That is classic. Wonderful, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we saw that one, yeah, but
Oh, that's right.
to see him in his get up.
Yeah, I believe that's Chieko Ihai with that Fukuhara Sensei and Allison.
I think
Beautiful.
Allison is ready too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's bring it
Okay.
back on. Allison, that was so beautiful.
Allison, isn't that Chieko?
Yes, that's Chieko Sensei and Fukuhara Sensei in the middle. That was a New Year's party. It was huge, big deal. Lots of musicians, famous musicians in Okinawa attended, and it's just this really big party. So everybody had to dress up in kimono, and it's fun.
Well, you brought it, that's for
Good
sure.
memories. Good memories. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that was a great rendition of Bashofu. And so it's really what's next for Allison Arakawa. I hope that we see you a lot in the Okinawan community and also the rest of your family. Let's, we didn't get a chance to talk a lot about them, but I think they're standing by.
Let's bring them on.
Hey.
Hey! Hi, Emery, Koten, Mark.
Hello.
Emery, your
Thanks for
favorite.
sharing her with us today. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
sure.
Emery, did you enjoy watching your mom singing? She's all shy now.
Yeah. Now she's
Oh, it's
So,
so
Allison, again, I hope we see you often in the
Thank
community.
you.
I think a lot of Shininkai are gonna be calling you up. A beautiful wedding photo of you and Mark.
Oh, your parents.
This is
And that's your
beautiful.
sister, brother-in-law.
yeah.
Do they know? Yeah.
All right.
So
There's the gang.
And as always, we love like Yuntaku is meant to be like really, family friendly. We get a lot of people, their families get involved. So we wanted to make sure we featured you guys. Hi!
Emmy. Oh boy.
But thank you, Mark, Emery, Koten, for sharing your mom with us.
Yes,
And
so much.
we're so touched to hear the songs that she sang tonight.
I'm gonna
I
play
know
over
that
and over.
many of our viewers out there loved your voice, Allison.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this program. And I'm so glad I was able to share, all my very amazing teachers' stories and their purpose in life and the things that they passed on to me. So I'm so grateful. And so thank you for taking the time to listen.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
So
for being here.
Yay! Again, another Yuntaku Live. Wonderful guests. wonderful host, DJ, and Lynn. And thank you, Dave Arakawa, for coming aboard. And we'll see you guys all next week. And DJ, Lynn, you guys have final words?
Oh, yeah. So once again, mahalo for everyone's joining us on HUOA's Yuntaku Live. And we hope to see you again next week. Stay tuned for more information. We'll be bringing you more live entertainment, more virtual events coming this year as we're getting better at it. Yeah. Thanks, guys. So,
Take care, everybody, and stay
Bene
safe.
Bene.
Benny Fede Biru.
Thank you.